everybody, it's Angie from Trips with Angie. Welcome to RIU Palace, Costa Rica. In this video, I'm going to give you a full walkthrough resort tour, and we're also going to take a peek at some of the shared amenities with RIU Guanacaste. I really hope you're subscribing because this is the start of a 3-resort series here in Costa Rica. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you see the next 2 resort tours as well.
The first very important thing to note about this resort is that this area of Costa Rica is very dry. Check out those brown hills in the background. Between December to April, they get virtually no rain. So a lot of guests I spoke to were a little disappointed. They thought they'd be vacationing at an all-inclusive in the middle of the rainforest. That's about 2 hours away. At the bottom of this driveway, there's the shared amenities like the water park and the shopping street. I'm going to show you those at the end of the video. RIU Palace is a family all-inclusive resort. We're about 40 minutes from the Liberia airport. That's LIR if you're trying to book your flights. You'll come in and to the right is your check-in desk. The check-in process was seamless for us. We didn't even have to give a credit card because our reservation was already prepaid. Our room was available when we checked in around 3 o'clock, so it was perfect. This is an air-conditioned lobby and bar area, plenty of space for guests to relax before their excursion in the morning or before dinner in the evening. As you head towards the beach, to the right, you're going to find the 24-hour lounge. So this is for those late night folks or those early morning folks. Right now, it's about 6 a.m. I wanted to get up to try to film some things without a lot of people around, but I was surprised by how many people were already up exploring the resort. Throughout the day, they changed the buffet. So here we're in the morning, but you're always going to have the popcorn. You have different fruit items, hot items, fresh fruit, and then that buffet changes as we go throughout the day, but it is available 24 hours. You can have a great view overlooking the resort and the stage. And then in this back little corner is a self-service bar. The alcohol also changes throughout the day. So in the morning, think they'll have like champagnes to make mimosas, and then it gets into the harder liquor in the afternoon. Here in the main lobby area, there's a little coffee bar. So this is where you're going to want to go for your cappuccinos. They also have ice cream and sweet treats throughout the day. And this is the large lobby bar area. This gets very busy in the evenings as people are waiting to go to dinner or just relaxing after dinner. I highly recommend the espresso martini with absolute vanilla if you're looking for a new cocktail to try. We were very impressed with the bartenders at this resort. They were extremely professional, very fast, and made wonderful drinks. They'll also recommend something if you want to try something. The person next to us was trying their way through all the different martinis. There's a small outdoor area on either side of the lobby. This was kind of taken over by smaller groups. The resort is in a U shape, so you can see the white buildings of rooms go out to either side with all the pools in the middle. Heading back into the lobby bar, even though we are a bit far from the rainforest, a few of the popular excursions we heard about were the Rio Secreto, which was about a 2-hour drive, but then you got to see sloths, see this beautiful blue water river and a waterfall, so that might be a good option. ATV tours are pretty close. There's also a snorkeling tour you can book down on the beach where they'll pick you up right at the resort and take you snorkeling. Zip lining is available in Liberia, which is back near the airport. So you have plenty of excursion options. There's a main stairwell down, it's kind of hidden there, down by the lobby bar, or there are elevators available, and I'll take you and show you where those are. There's one on each side. This is La Forna. This is the Italian a la carte restaurant. It was open for lunch and dinner during our stay. This restaurant is a buffet. This was the dinner buffet. You can see the salmon and beef carpaccios, as well as a large antipasta bar, so you can make your salad and a little antipasta platter if you'd like. At dinner, you had the option to order a main course in addition to having the buffet. No reservations are required, but it is first come, first serve. This restaurant is a little bit bigger than the others, so it's a little bit easier to get into than the Crystal or the Tokyo Japanese, and I'll talk more about that later. You had soups, and then here you got into some of the more main entree items. You can see there were mussels, pork, and there were fried calamari. The fried calamari was actually really good. The pizza options, the pepperoni was a little bit different than I was used to. And then you have your desserts. So they had ice cream in addition to fruits and other specialty desserts. I ordered the mushroom lasagna and it was delicious. There was also a meat lasagna on the buffet. Heading past the Italian restaurant and into the area where the rooms are located, this is how you're going to find your elevator in case you need one to head downstairs. It's a little dark. Again, I was filming this around 6 o'clock in the morning, but it's not that dark all day long. You can see along the sides here, there are rooms like 2071. You can be very close to the lobby if you would like. The lobby is on the second floor, technically, with 0 being the floor where the pool is going to be. So here's our elevator. This side, which is the side to the left as you're looking at the beach, these elevators worked a little bit better than the ones on the right side as you're looking at the beach. We had a little bit trouble. So you can see here, we're on L and we're going to head down to 0 to check out the pool level. There are signs everywhere. I really appreciated this resort because it made it so much easier to get around. There's tons of signage to help you find what you were looking for. Heading out into the main area, see, you're greeted here with a sign that lets you know the easiest way to get to the restaurants and the beach and pool area. So upstairs you had the Italian restaurant. Now the rest of the restaurants are going to be down here on level 0. There's 3 together and then an additional one out by the beach. Coming around the corner, you want to look for the colorful paintings. That will be how you know you're on your way to where the restaurants are located. Now here is the main buffet. So this was open for breakfast and dinner during our stay. Has a huge buffet with lots of different options. You can choose indoor or outdoor seating as you see here. There is a hostess that would prefer that you check with her before you just kind of commandeer a couple tables, but we definitely saw some people stocking some of the outside tables instead of checking in. Let's take a peek at the breakfast buffet. So you have your charcuterie as well as your salad making stations. They had little sandwiches each morning if you just wanted to go that route and get a quick bite. 4 to 5 different types of donuts and muffins. They have alternative milks and some sugar-free options. They have a juice station with freshly made juices. The watermelon was my favorite. All the different kinds of breads. I recommend the one that kind of looks like a pretzel. You have your yogurts and your fresh fruits as well as your jello and your different cereals and then all the different hot items. I think I counted 20 different ways to eat eggs. They had every type of egg you would want, plus all the sweet options like your churros, waffles, and pancakes. Heading out of the buffet, we're going to come next door to the Japanese restaurant. Now, this one's a little bit harder to get into. It is smaller than the Italian restaurant, so you're going to want to show up right when this opens, about 5:45 during our stay. I thought the inside of the restaurant was really fun and gave a cool Japanese vibe. Gyoza is the appetizer you get when you sit down. Ours was a little mushy. I loved the salmon tartare on top of avocado and cucumber. It was perfectly seasoned. And this was a terrific dish. It was kind of like a deconstructed sushi with tuna on the top. The ramen bowl was terrific. The broth had a good umami flavor, that mushroom flavor. This was the tuna, the seared tuna. It was a huge piece of tuna, and the salmon came out with a wonderful crispy skin. Again, very well seasoned. So we really enjoyed our meal here at the Japanese restaurant. Coming out of the Japanese restaurant, we're going to pass this set of doors. So this is where that staircase comes down. That staircase we saw up in the lobby, this will come down here, and you have this great view of the resort heading down to the pool areas with the little fountains. Around the corner, we'll find the 4th restaurant. This is an a la carte dinner restaurant called Crystal Restaurant. In the app, it says it has a dress code where men have to wear pants, but we didn't experience that. You start with these lovely breadsticks with Iberico ham wrapped around them. I loved the charger plates here. Every single one was different. I thought it was really unique. This was a mushroom ragu with a poached egg with mashed potatoes on the bottom. And this was the corn soup. I thought it was so interesting. It was more like a corn cream with wonderful vegetables around it. And I really enjoyed the lobster risotto. It was a little little thick, but the flavor was delightful. Here is the show area. So you see there's one bar on this side, and then we'll see one bar on the other side. In the evening, the activities start around 7:30. You have live music. There's a Kahoot game show, which is kind of like trivia. And then you have your evening shows. There was an 80s show, a Michael Jackson show, a Latino show. So lots of entertainment throughout the evening. It is open air and it can get a bit hot, especially when you're sitting around waiting around 7:30 or 8. This is the second bar. It only has a few bar stools. I wish they had a couple more because it is fun to hang out there. If you're traveling with a larger group, you definitely want to commandeer one of these booth areas. Just a great place to hang out and all sit together. Now we're going to head down to the pool area. You can see that U is around us, so there's rooms to the left and to the right. The landscaping is beautiful. They've done a very good job trimming their palm trees. As you know, my husband keeps track of this. He rated this resort a B+ for those of you who are interested, but I thought it was just absolutely gorgeous. The sprinklers were running every morning because, as I said, this area has a drought, so they really are putting a lot of effort and time and money into keeping this looking so lush and tropical. Heading down the stairs, we'll come to the first of the 5 pools. This is the one closest to the lobby. This had a very chill vibe. You can see there's tiered areas to have the lounge chairs. Now you'll notice it is 6:20 a.m. and there are already towels on the chair. This is ridiculous. This chair hog thing, it's really gone too far, but people are going to do it. The resort's not going to clear it. They're too busy actually cleaning the pools and washing the pool deck than to gather up everyone's stuff who comes here so early to get it. Heading down these stairs, we're going to get to the second pool. This is the water volleyball pool. I love that they have a pool dedicated to water volleyball. It actually has an infinity edge from the top where you can overlook and watch the games play. You can see there's the infinity edge right there to the left. Great spot to hang out and watch the water volleyball. There's an organized water volleyball game every day at 10:30. Otherwise, the ball's available if you just want to play with your group of friends. There are umbrellas available around the pool area. Then there's also another area of big shade at one of the other pools, and I'll show you where that is. We were very impressed with how clean they kept the pool. They were even wiping down this pool deck throughout the day. This pool deck does get very hot, so you want to make sure you have your sandals. Everyone was just lining them up along the pool edge. This area had a special pop-up lunch one day. It had grilled chicken, corn on the cob, sausage, chips and salsa, chips and cheese. Keep an eye out for that. It didn't happen the other 2 days, so it must be just based on how full the resort is. Now, this is the third pool, and based on the number of towels on the chair, it must be the most wanted. It's very quiet, so this is going to be the quietest of all the pools. You can see people are wanting those umbrellas. Then here is the swim up bar. The swim up bar is 18+. No kids can play in here. The bartenders here are absolutely phenomenal. Felipe, Pedro, Warren, they're incredible. They do a great job, and it has a fun atmosphere, but it's not loud. It's not like music is blaring the whole time. It's very minimal, a very pleasant experience. And behind it is a second bar with a lounge area. Now the furniture is all moved here because they were cleaning the floor, but this is a great space just to hang out. Some people even, put their stuff on these chairs and would come and sit here in between dipping in and out of the pool. They make tremendous frozen drinks. My favorite is the frozen mojito with Bacardi. So if you want to give that a try, I think you'll like it. The bartender actually made fun of me when I called Bacardi into the drink, and he's like, "Oh, you're so fancy." So here you can see the sprinklers I was talking about out, and then here is the last of the pools. This is the activity pool. So this is where the activities staff is going to be. So if you have kids, you're going to want to be in this area. It's also the pool closest to the bathroom. I will show you where that is. And here's that additional shade I was talking about. So all of these areas, you can pull that curtain across the top to make the whole thing shaded. So instead of having an umbrella, you just can ask them to pull that across, and then you kind of have a canopy over where you're sitting. Leaving the pool area, you have to be behind the hedges to get to the bathroom and the steakhouse called Papagayo. So keep that in mind. We kind of got lost once. You can't get out of the pool area. You have to come out, come to the front of the hedges, and then head towards the bathroom and the steakhouse. The RIU Land little kids area is also up here. So let's take a look. This is the RIU Land Supervised Kids Program. I'm going to warn you, it does not look very impressive, but that's because the entertainment team spends a lot of their time at the pool playing with kids there. A lot of the activities center around the pool area. But they do have this little ping pong table, a small splash pool, and then a very small playground area for little kids. It is open limited hours throughout the day if you wanted to drop kids off, and they post the activities. So it's open from 10 to 1 and then 3 to 6, and then they post the activities here so you can see what's happening at different times of the day in case something your kiddo may be interested in. But again, a lot is happening at the pool with the activities and entertainment team. We saw kayak racing, darts, Connect Four, you throw the beanbag, so lots of stuff going on. Now here are the bathrooms. These are the closest bathrooms to the pool area, which is absolutely ridiculous and a huge flaw in this resort. The restaurant just outside the bathroom is Papagayo, which is the steakhouse in the evening for dinner. Otherwise, it has a buffet lunch. This is the lunch buffet. They had all different kinds of freshly made salads, including pasta salads, paella, all different kinds of grill options, your chicken tenders, your pizza, your hamburgers, your hot dogs. Make your own salad, everything protected under plexiglass, sushi, as well as noodle stir fries, all different types of desserts, as well as hand scooped ice cream, tons of fruit available, your favorites like mashed potatoes and different types of pork steaks. So lots of really good options here. Again, this is a buffet for lunch and dinner. At dinner, you can order main course off the menu. Now, a reminder, this steakhouse and the Italian are going to be your two easiest bets for dinner in addition to the regular buffet. Crystal and the Japanese restaurant are going to be a little bit harder to get into. We're going to head all the way back across the resort because I want to show you the RIU Art and the RIU Fit areas. We'll zip back in front of the activities pool, the swim up pool, the quiet pool, and here we are at RIU Fit and RIU Art. RIU Art is a special program that you can participate in, and it has an art studio where you can make different art projects. This is the ping pong table. As you can see, it was rained on overnight. Actually, it was probably the sprinklers that hit it since there was no rain while we were there. And this is the yoga stretching area. So if in the activities in the app, it says something is going to take place at RIU Fit, it's right here. These are the fitness programs. And yes, there is an app. They give you the QR code to download it upon arrival. And I highly recommend doing that. You can see the menus for all the different restaurants, and you can also see the activities list of when different things are going to be taking place. And you can see the art studios all closed up here. Now it's finally time to head to the beach. This is a really unique beach. This is a black sand beach because so much of Costa Rica is volcanic, and that means it can be very hot. So just keep that in mind. You definitely want swim shoes or some type of sandal to head out onto the beach because it gets quite warm. When we were there in March, the temperatures were about 100 degrees. Up here to the left, you see the flag. They'll indicate what the water conditions are like. Green means great, yellow means caution, red means don't go in. This beach is open to the public. Again, this was about 6:20 in the morning. If this was about 10 a.m., there would be people around all of these signs. There's vendors that set up with different arts and crafts, jewelry, t-shirts, swimwear. You also have gentlemen who are trying to sell you different tours or snorkeling trips. All here you can see kind of on the surfboard there, it talks a little bit about it. So there will be people milling about on this beach because it is public. You'll notice there are no lounge chairs here. This side of the beach does not have very many lounge chairs. Some people did bring some down or ask the staff to bring some down so they could be in the shade of some of these trees. But the main section of beach chairs is going to be over on the RIU Guanacaste side. There's another resort next door to the RIU Palace. I'm going to do another video just about that and how you would pick which one you want to stay at. If you stay at the RIU Palace, you can go over to the RIU Guanacaste and use their pools, bars, and beach chairs. That may be a better choice than trying to find a chair down here. So here you can see Super Mario has his own little office here, the black sand beach, and the dry hills on either side. But the water was very calm and you can walk along the beach. If you walk to the left as you're facing the water, about 400 meters or about a 10 to 15 minute walk, you'll see a small trail with a little sign that says monkey bar, and there's wild monkeys that are very used to humans and will come up to you. They'll try to steal your cell phones. They'll drink out of a cup, and there's a restaurant and bar which is an extra charge. You can head up there and see some of the howler monkeys up in the trees too. So that's to the left here as you walk all the way down the beach. So now I want to show you some of the areas that are in common with the RIU Guanacaste. If you walk down the driveway from the RIU Palace entrance, you'll find the water park with 7 different water slides and a small splash area for younger kids. Then if you take a right-hand turn from there, there's a lovely street with extra cost shops and gift shops and different types of jewelry. So if you're just looking for a nice place to kind of stroll down and do some souvenir shopping, this would be a great option. They have the photo area, so that's if you want to get pictures taken around the resort. They have all kinds of photographers in the water taking pictures. You have a jewelry store. There's a souvenir shop. There's also just a regular shop. If you forgot something, you can get books or unique souvenirs of handmade arts and crafts. If you forgot your tumbler, you can grab one there, and all different types of just really cute shops. As you can see here, you could get your postcards. The hotel shop has things you might have forgot. The discotheque is open in the evening starting at 10 p.m. It's shared between the two resorts. On this little street, you'll also find the medical center if anything has come up, and the Paddy Dive Center, one outpost here. There's another on the beach. And this is an extra charge coffee shop with amazing chocolates and some different craft beers. So if you wanted to try some Costa Rica craft beers, it is an extra charge, but that is available. If you forgot any of your clothing items, or maybe you want to purchase a new hat, there's a clothing shop and another small boutique with unique items. As you reach the end, this is the walkway that separates the two resorts, RIU Palace and Guanacaste. Remember, my next video is going to be more about RIU Guanacaste, but they do share the spa and the fitness center. The fitness center was undergoing a little bit of work on the treadmills when we were there, but it has plenty of weightlifting equipment. And last but not least is a room tour. This is a junior suite garden view 0121. So weirdly enough, right when you walk in the door, there's the toilet in its own little area. And you'll notice that the bathroom is not private. There is no door enclosing this. There is a door enclosing the shower, but when you walk out of the shower, there's no door closing it off from the rest of the room. You have your standard closet, ironing board safe, whirlpool tub. On either side of the bed, there is a nightstand. It also comes with alcohol in the room, hard liquor, with your coffee pot, and then you have a mini bar that's replenished daily with sodas, juices, and beer. A great luggage area to keep your luggage, a television, 4 drawers, and a nice little desk area, as well as the sofa. There is plugs on both sides of the bed, so if you have a CPAP, you're all set. It did take North American plugs, so we did not need a converter. And then you had a great patio with a drying rack and 2 chairs and a table. So here is the videos I'm talking about. There's the RIU Guanacaste one and more Costa Rica all-inclusives.